domestic kayo?
Ako si Maxim.
Ako si Sutsi.
We reacted to Jerome Evardome, or Evardome, twice before, but we don't really know about his story. So I found a video by Top Up YouTube channel. It's his clone journey fan-made documentary. And apparently his journey was quite controversial, not because of him, but because of the jury process and elimination, etc. So yeah, let's react.
Look at that.
By the way, I don't know if do you think you can see this dog right here, TB? If you have seen her reaction from 6 years ago, 7 years ago, she was still there. She's still alive. So we have 12 dogs now, so we have a lot. Okay.
Let's get started.
Some singers show up, sing their piece, and disappear. End of story. But every once in a while, someone steps on stage and changes everything. That's what happened in 2025, when Jerome Evardome walked into the clones. He didn't just compete. He created a journey, a story, a memory that fans are still talking about today. So in this special episode, we'll walk through Jerome's incredible path on the clones. And then we'll dig into the heart of it, why fans love him so much.
He's not wrong, but we don't know yet how big it's gonna be. It just ended.
Yeah.
There's a lot of contestants that like won or didn't won a talent show in the Philippines, and they are kind of popular a little bit after that, and after that they disappear. So I mean, we have seen that a lot, you know. So we need to wait a little bit before like.
January 2025, the clones began, a stage full of dreamers, each hoping to be the one who stood out. But it wasn't until April 9th that things truly shifted. That's when Jerome Evardome made his debut.
Evardome.
Now, here's the kicker. Just a few years earlier, he wasn't even into Elvis. But when he opened his mouth, the sound that came out wasn't imitation. It was reincarnation. They say timing is everything. And April 9th was the moment Jerome's story began. The early rounds were brutal. Contestants falling one
April
after
9.
another. But
May, June, July, August, September, 6 months. So it lasted 5 months and something? The whole show lasts 5 months?
That's like half a year.
Yeah, it's almost half a year. And we just discovered him like a month ago.
Yeah.
Damn, this is a long process.
Jerome, cool, collected, ready. From the very start, Jerome turned heads. In the elimination round, he sang not one, but two of Elvis's most timeless ballads, Can't Help Falling in Love and Are You Lonesome Tonight. The
classic.
audience was floored. His voice carried the same tenderness, the same depth of emotion that made Elvis unforgettable. It wasn't just a performance, it was a moment. And for the fans watching, one thought rang clear. This guy is special. This is someone to watch. In the semifinals, Jerome stepped onto the stage with two songs that weren't exactly the obvious crowd pleasers, Welcome to My World and A Big Hunk o' Love. To most people, these weren't the kind of Elvis songs you'd...
I don't know these two songs.
From Elvis too?
Yeah, I don't know. The Big Hunk Love sounds familiar. The other one, I don't think I know it.
expect in a high-stakes
Yeah.
contest. In fact, even host Alan Kay admitted, in fairness to Jerome, I know a lot of Elvis's rock and roll hits, but I don't know this one.
In fairness sa'yo, dami ko rin alam kantang rock and roll ni Elvis, pero yun, di ko alam yan, ha?
That
Kung
was
yun
the
di
risk
ko alam.
Jerome took. He wasn't chasing the most familiar tune. He was proving depth, showing that his Elvis wasn't just surface level. The face-off raised the stakes. Both singers tackled Engelbert Humperdinck's Quando, Quando, Quando. Jerome stayed true to his Elvis tone, but the verdict slipped from his hands. Despite delivering with power and precision, the decision went the other way. A Tony Bennett clone was given the edge. Fans and critics immediately...
Why?
A Tony
Look.
Bennett clone was given the edge.
He's shocked that he won.
Ah,
For him, I feel bad for him.
yeah.
You know, when you're shocked to win like this.
Fans and critics immediately called it
Wow, so disappointing. I cannot count how many times apparently rewatch Jerome performance. Yan ba ang nanalo on Tony Bennett? Mas malapit manam ang boses nung clone na Elvis Presley. Minsan palpak ang judging sa balagan.
controversial. Some argued Jerome should have played it safe with a classic Elvis hit, like many contestants did. But to others, that risk showed his artistry. Because in their eyes, Jerome wasn't just imitating Elvis, he was channeling him. Many believed he not only sounded closer to his idol, but that he deserved at least a tie, if not the win outright. And just when it looked like the dream was slipping away, fate stepped in. The story wasn't over.
Okay.
The story
she wanted to
wasn't
be there. See? That's Jerome Evardome.
And so, the semifinal curtain fell on Jerome. Or so it seemed. Fans were buzzing. Many felt robbed, calling the decision unfair.
You was
And the
contestant two.
noise didn't fade away. It grew louder.
See?
Decision unfair. And the noise
Even contestant 1 was shocked. Nanalo siya. He was shocked to be the winner. That's what I just saw too.
didn't fade away. It grew louder. Comment sections, social media threads, even critics, all saying the same thing.
Jesus.
Jerome deserved another shot. And then, fate opened a door.
The wild
The
card.
wild card round. A second chance, but with even higher stakes.
Wait, I need to know. Did they create a wild card just because of the like people screaming, or it was there last year? Because it would be epic if it's the first time that they have a wild card on the show, and
Because
it's
of
the,
him.
Yeah, because of him. Like they created the wild card for him, you know.
After the semifinals, the wild card round was announced. From all the voices that had already been silenced, only a few were called back. Among those few was Jerome. And many believed the loud support from fans had something to do with it. Jerome started with Always on My Mind. Tender, emotional, unmistakably Elvis.
Always
The audience
on
leaned
my
in, hanging on
mind.
every word. Then came a twist. The host asked him to step out of the king's shadow. Jerome delivered Dean Martin's Everybody Loves Somebody and Josh Turner's Your Man. Both he nailed with ease.
Oh, wow.
Smooth, powerful, and authentic.
Classic.
But he wasn't done. He returned once more to Elvis with Love Me Tender, reminding everyone exactly why he was called one of the most convincing Elvis voices on stage. And then came the face-off. A Louis Armstrong clone stood across from him. The challenge, Nat King Cole's classic Love. Jerome blended his Elvis tone into the performance, giving the old standard new life. When the dust settled, there was no debate this time. Jerome won the wild card. He was back in the game and more anticipated than ever. This time, Jerome walked in with something to prove. Not just that he could sing Elvis, but that he could sing, period.
Papaalala lang natin, ang The Clones na contest dito kung sino ang kaboses.
Tama.
Diba? Yun ang pinag-uusapan dito.
The rule is simple. Whoever sounds closest wins. And Jerome, he always sounded like Elvis. In many ways, the wild card round felt like a course correction, a chance for the show to listen to the audience's voice and let fate rewrite the script. It wasn't the first time either. Viewers remembered how the Sharing Cuneta clone's controversial exit was later addressed, leading to the Dulcet clone becoming the first to move into the grand concert. With Dulcet's clone, the show eventually admitted an error. But in Jerome's case, no such words were spoken. Still, his return through the wild card
Yeah,
round
I mean,
felt-
it was not an error. It was a judge. The last, she just said it was an error in the the voting system or something, some bug or something. So it's a little bit different, I guess.
to many, like an unspoken acknowledgement. After the wildcard round, the show regrouped the remaining contestants into 6 different categories. Each group had a full week of competition, with daily qualifiers leading to a grand finals on Saturday. And guess who the show saved for last? Jerome's group. The anticipation was undeniable. The show knew it,
Oh,
and
Ma-
so did the fans.
Matt Monroe is in his group.
Group.
Matt Monroe and Tony Bennett, the guy that eliminated him the first time, is there in the same group.
The
Wow.
anticipation was undeniable. The show knew it, and so did the fans. A lineup many fans considered the strongest of them all.
Not
These
Matt
were the
Monroe, but
sharks
the
in
guy
the
that's
tank.
doing Matt Monroe.
While other groups had talent, Jerome's category had rosters people were already calling the best of the best.
him.
Each qualifying round wasn't just another step in the contest. It was more like a highlight reel, a showcase of the best talent the clones had to offer. These weren't fillers, these were the voices that made the show. Every performance mattered. Every song was a statement. In the qualifiers, Jerome faced two heavy hitters, the Tom Jones clone and the Julio Iglesias clone. But by this point, Jerome wasn't just a contestant, he was an event. The moment his face appeared on screen, viewership spiked. People stopped what they were doing just to see what he'd sing next. First up, Wooden Heart. Smooth, playful, like he's just warming up the crowd. Then, bam, Moody Blue. Now, here's the thing about this song. Trivia time, folks. Moody Blue was the last single Elvis released while he was still alive. That's
wow.
right, the King's swan song before the curtain closed. It even snagged him a posthumous award. Talk about heavy history packed into a tune. And Jerome, he didn't just pick it by accident. Nope, this was deep catalog territory. The kind of move only a true Elvis connoisseur would dare pull off. Most contestants play it safe with the hits. Jerome went for the King's final chapter. Bold move, respect. Then, just when you thought he'd stay parked in the Elvis lane, he swerved right into Nat King Cole's Love. Stylish, classy, unexpected, like changing gears in a sports car. Boom. Every note, a tease. Every glance, a dare. He was pulling the crowd in like, come on, admit it, you want more. And then, boom, Nail-biter City. This wasn't some walk in the park, this was a slugfest, edge of your seat stuff. But when the smoke cleared, Jerome and the Julio Iglesias clone punched their golden ticket to the next round.
2 out of 3.
Okay, so the classic male group wasn't just another round. It was the Shark Tank, the so-called strongest bracket of them all. Jerome had already bulldozed through qualifiers, proving he wasn't just a contestant, he was the headline act. But if the qualifiers were fireworks, the grand finals promised a full-blown storm. And right in the center of it, Jerome, standing under the hottest spotlight yet. Up to this point, Jerome was cruising past the show's in-house judges. But now, whole new ballgame. The producers brought in the heavyweights, singers, composers, directors, the OPM elite. Translation? The kid wasn't just singing anymore.
It's not OPM elite, we call that elitism. People that seek perfection all the time.
He was in for the big leagues. Different field, different rules. And guess what? The pressure dial just went from simmer to full boil. He opened with Can't Help Falling in Love. Not just any Elvis song, but the Elvis anthem. A track so iconic it's been covered by hundreds of artists, from Andrea Bocelli to UB40. It's the kind of ballad where every note has to drip with sincerity, because fans know it inside out. Miss even a little, and you'll hear about it. Hit it right, and you've captured lightning in a bottle. When Jerome sang Can't Help Falling in Love, the crowd felt the magic. But not everyone was convinced. One judge called it a tough choice, saying Elvis is one of the hardest icons to impersonate. She pointed out the missing deepness and Elvis's signature storytelling. To many fans, however, the remark felt like it added pressure rather than encouragement. Still, in the context of the competition, it came across as constructive feedback rather than outright criticism. With Can't Help Falling in Love done, Jerome moved on to his next number, Are You Lonesome Tonight? Whether that earlier remark from the judge truly got to him, only Jerome could say. But to the audience, those quick glances toward the panel seemed to carry the weight of that critique. It felt as if every line, every pause, was not just a performance, but a quiet answer. A way of saying, I've got more to show you. And by the way, this song is famous for Elvis's storytelling. In fact, the spoken word narration in the middle is one of the King's most iconic touches.
Yeah.
So when Jerome sang it, fans couldn't help but notice the irony. Just moments earlier, a judge had said she was still looking for Elvis's storytelling. And now, here was Jerome delivering a song built entirely on that very strength. But too bad, perhaps due to time constraints, the much-awaited narration part of the song wasn't included.
Yeah.
For many fans, it was a missed opportunity, because that spoken section is often where Elvis's storytelling magic really comes alive. The contest's guiding rule was simple. Whoever sounds the most alike wins. But when guest judges entered the panel, they brought fresh perspectives, looking not only for vocal similarity, but also for storytelling, emotion, and stage presence. It wasn't a contradiction, but rather an added layer, one that made the competition even tougher for Jerome. Finally, Jerome closed with Put Your Head on My Shoulder, the Paul Anka classic. He began with a soft, low tone.
He looks so nervous when you look at his face, right?
Maybe it's his characters like that.
Yeah.
Almost like he was drawing the crowd in, and then lifted into the key change with confidence. It wasn't just a cover, it carried that Elvis flavor, smooth yet heartfelt, the kind of delivery that made people stop and listen. And surprisingly, out of the 3 songs he belted that day, this is where Jerome really hit the gas. Forget cruise control, the guy floored it. Smooth, low start, then bam, key change like a mic drop. He wasn't just singing Paul Anka, he was bending it, twisting it, owning it. For me, this was his pedal to the metal moment. The crowd didn't just hear it, they felt it. Elvis vibes, Paul Anka swag, Jerome's fire, all rolled into one. If the judges didn't get goosebumps here, I don't know what else would wake them up. And hey, if you want to see exactly what I'm talking about, I did a full review of this performance right here on my channel. Go check it out after this, trust me, you'll get why this one felt different. The grand finals wasn't just a show, it was a battlefield. 7 clones, each at the top of their game, trading blow for blow with performances that had the crowd on edge. Every song, every note felt like it could tip the scale. Nail-biting? More like heart-stopping. By the end, nobody could call it with certainty. That's how tight the race was. Still, some of the judges' remarks sparked debate among fans, raising questions about how perspective and interpretation may have influenced the outcome. But before the winners were revealed, the host Alan Kay threw in a curveball, a comeback round. Next week, all the placeholders, the near winners, would return for one more shot. The prize, a golden ticket straight to the grand concert. And then came the results. The strongest group had reached its conclusion.
Yeah, because there's 3 groups, but there's only 1 winner per group. It's not like one big winner. It's 3 category. I think they pick like 7 singers that sound like in the same like maybe genre of music, and then other 7, and then other 7, and then to put them together.
First place went to the Eddie Peregrina clone. The grand winner, securing a seat in the grand concert, was the Basil Valdez clone. Jerome, the crowd favorite, the one many rooted for to take it all, landed in 2nd place. And just like that, another twist, another climb, another dip. What looked like the end was shaping up into yet another roller coaster ride in Jerome's journey. Just when you thought it was over, nope, the clones threw a curveball, a comeback round, runner-ups from 6 groups, all tossed back into the fire. One stage, one shot.
I'm starting to think that it's like just like American Got Talent. It's rigged, like to do that on purpose, so that he can have the comeback round be meaningful. Because imagine if Jerome win, right? He directly win, and then they have a comeback round. It doesn't have the same impact as if the person that is the favorite from the public is eliminated and then he come back. Now it's give like a boost to the comeback round.
Golden ticket to the grand concert. Jerome, deja vu, baby. Another roller coaster, another shot at redemption. Stakes, sky high. Crowd, louder than a stadium rock show. Pressure, thick enough to crush steel. This is where heroes rise and the rest watch. And Jerome, he's ready to ride. August 27th. Mark that down, folks, because that's the day Jerome stepped back into the fire.
It's been 4 months.
His clone's journey,
The beginning.
never smooth sailing. Always uphill, always against the heaviest hitters. Just like Rocky Balboa, the man never got an easy fight. Every round, every rival, it's been a slugfest. But here he is again, gloves up, voice ready, and the crowd buzzing. This isn't just a comeback, this is a showdown. But hold your horses. This wasn't a walk in the park. Jerome's win threw him straight into the lion's den. On the other side of the stage, 2 heavy hitters. The Cheeto Miranda clone bringing OPM fire, and the Bonnie Tyler clone belting raw power. 3 voices, 1 slot for the grand concert. No safety nets, no do-overs. Just a straight-up brawl of talent. Jerome walks in like he owns the joint, and what does he drop as his opener? Are You Lonesome Tonight? But wait, this time, the fans get what they've been begging for. The narration. Boom. The studio freezes, the crowd leans in, and suddenly it's not just karaoke, it's Elvis time travel. Then, whiplash. Just when the crowd was still catching their breath from the narration of Are You Lonesome Tonight, Jerome flips the switch. Kiss Me Quick hits, and suddenly the mood changes. It's playful, it's cheeky, it's Elvis turned loose. And Jerome, he's not just singing anymore, he's moving, grooving, owning that stage like it's second nature. Every step, every glance, every little move, it all screams, this guy's having fun, and you're coming along for the ride. And here's the thing, that kind of confidence, that doesn't happen by accident. That's a man who's been through the fire, who knows the weight of this moment, and still dares to enjoy it. The studio audience felt it, viewers at home felt it. This was more than just a performance, it was a statement. Then comes decision time. And let's be real, no suspense needed. The room already knew. Jerome bags the win, clean and clear. The crowd explodes in celebration. Online, fans light it up like wildfire. The comeback officially on.
That's why I said that I think that it was like planned.
Oh, like that. It makes sense. So it's
Yeah.
been making more popular.
I don't know what you guys think. I feel like the show was meant to trigger your emotion and make him going to the comeback round. Remind me of a Marcelito Pomoy journey on America Got Talent. The same kind of like, I feel like they wanted to give him a hardship and making difficulty, even though Marcel Pomoy did not win. But I feel like they played with people's emotion. You guys at home, even though it was always going to be him at the end that like win the comeback, you know.
And for Jerome, the roller coaster ride just climbed another peak. All right, folks, buckle up because this is it. After every twist, every curveball, every near miss and comeback, we've
final.
arrived at Jerome's endgame. The stage is set, the lights are hot, and the crowd knows they're about to witness something special. This is the never say die moment, the kind of performance where legends are made or broken. And if you thought Jerome was done, think again. The King's voice lives on, and tonight it's swinging for immortality. 4 giants had already claimed their spots on the grand stage. The smoky soul of Claire de la Fuente, the powerhouse fire of Shirley Bassey, the unstoppable energy of Beyoncé, and the wild electricity of Freddie Mercury. Titans, every one of them. And now, stepping up for his shot, the underdog who refused to stay down. Jerome. Every twist, every turn, every battle led here. This is his endgame.
The people's champion.
4 heavy hitters had already claimed their spots on the grand stage. Titans, each
Like
with their
Manny
own
Pacquiao
thunder.
kind
But
of
then
story.
the lights shift. One man steps forward. Jerome, the Elvis clone who's walked through fire, battled giants, and never backed down. The first note of The Wonder of You slices through the blue haze. Smooth, commanding, the king's soul reborn. Every word, every vibrato, dripping with raw conviction, fans hold their breath. His voice wasn't just singing, it was storytelling. Every word carried weight. The crowd didn't just hear him, they felt him. After The Wonder of You, Judge Mon Faustino leaned in with a smile. His voice is delightful, isn't it? He's really captured Elvis Presley. How old are you? Do your parents even like Elvis? Jerome replied, I actually discovered Elvis during the pandemic. Those were really dark times, and while some people were looking for hobbies, I ended up listening to old songs. And that's where it all began.
Wow.
Alan Kay joked, Elvis must have visited him. Wally added, or possessed him. Jerome humbly replied, I tried, can't help falling in love, picked up the vibrato, and it just kept going. Monfaustino replied, maybe you really are an old soul. You know, Elvis became so iconic because of his voice, and you have that. Perhaps work on your diction a bit, but the voice, it's already there. That's why Elvis was the king of rock and roll. He was ahead of his time. Congratulations. And right there, in that lighthearted exchange, it felt iconic. Like Jerome wasn't just performing Elvis anymore, he was sharing his story. A once-in-a-lifetime, unscripted magic moment. Then Judge Mon requested a song. He said Jerome's got nice moves a while ago. He wants it sentimental this time. He'd like Jerome to sing Love Me Tender by Elvis. It's one of my favorite songs, he said. After that, Jerome slides into Love Me Tender. Stripped down, simple, guitar, voice, soul. No tricks, no frills, just pure heart, raw emotion. Here it is, the moment of truth. After every high note, every stumble, every comeback, it all comes down to this. Only one will move on to the grand concert. Despite all the heart, the ups, the downs, the struggles, the wins, and the losses, Jerome's journey on the clones finally reaches its end. And the crown, it goes to the Freddie Mercury clone. For Jerome, it wasn't the fairy tale ending, but it was a run that fans will never forget.
It was a long journey and a lot of trick, like a lot of twists. I mean, it was a good plan if they planned because it's gonna make people remember him a lot.
I'm not sure if it was planned anymore because it didn't win in the end. But I feel like they add more round because the public was so angry about the result. It begged the question in the show, how much power do you give to the jury? How much power should you give to the audience? And should you have some kind of mix together? Because I've never heard of the Freddie Mercury clone, or nobody have suggested us to react to him. So people are only suggested react to him and to the Matt Monroe clone. That's the only two that people have suggested in the comments. So, and both Matt Monroe clone was not even in the final here. So I don't know what's going on. If there's more that we should react to, more clone, you need to let us know. But it was a very nice journey. Let us know the struggle. I mean, every time you go to a show like this, it's always going to be difficult like this. Not just for him, but for other contestants. So, yeah, amazing video. If there's more that we should react to, please let us know in the comment below. Yes. And see you very soon.